Okay, teachers, this is the instructional guide for Primary 3, Term 1, Week 3. Okay, so for this week, we have 2 booklets plus 1 test. All right, let's start with the first booklet. This one is on addition with renaming, formerly known as regrouping. So I would suggest that perhaps you just go straight to the point to explain how one of the question is done. For example, let's do well, let's see. Okay, let's take this example, right, on page 3, right? So all you need is just explain to them how that works. Most of them would already know, right, the idea of renaming or why you need to regroup. So if you take one example here, always go with, don't just say 5 plus 8 or 6 plus 4, go with 5 ones plus 8 ones would give you 13 ones. And so you cannot put 13 ones, you need to regroup 10 ones into 110. And that's where the 110 comes here, right? The 110 goes here. The 110 goes to the 10 place value. And then you have 110 plus 6 tens plus 4 tens equals 11 tens. So again, you cannot write 11 tens here. All right, you have to put 110 here, and the 10 tens regroup into 100. So which is why the 100 goes here, right? So, and then 100 plus 200 plus 700 equals to 10 hundredths. Right, so again, you can put the 10 hundredths here. All right, oh, sorry, I should use this page instead. Okay, so you cannot put the 10 hundredths here. You need to regroup, which means you put a 0 hundredths here, and then 10 hundredths you convert into will give you 1,000, right? So 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 3,000 equals 5,000. Right, so just take one question to explain. After that, get them to do all the guided practice. Okay, check to see that I've got that answer correctly, right? And then we can skip all the way, all right, to perhaps just do one question here, just to make sure that, because the earlier questions, it is all scaffolded for them, right? So for here, for this question here on page 14, 6B, they have to write this out clearly. Make sure that the numbers are aligned, right? So most of the time, if students are untidy, okay, and that they write the numbers not aligned to a place value, they may get it wrong. All right, so if you think that they need more practice, you can do one more questions, but otherwise we shouldn't do too much repetition question. All these can be assigned as homework later. All right, this one is a bit time consuming, so I wouldn't suggest doing it in class. They should know what to do. Okay, if you like, you may actually just do one question with them, one example. So for example, let's do E. Right, they first have to add up 1,055 plus 5,821, and then 6,876 equals E, right? This is E here, so they have to look at where 6,876E is, and then they will write the E there. Okay. All right. So didn't too much. Okay. So for this question, do one question with them as well. They have previously done it early on. So this one, they are supposed to find 2 numbers that give them a sum, right, of what is in the middle. All right, so they need to strategize, remind them that in order for these 2 numbers to add up, and then with the final number here with the 4 in the ones place, right, then they need to know that 6 plus 6 wouldn't work. 6 plus 6 will give you 12. That will give you 2 in the ones place, right? So they have to try either 2 numbers, one with 6 in the ones place and one number with 8 in the ones place. Okay, so explain to them, get them to do one, right? Otherwise they may just add up, you know, they may add this and this number together and they are really wasting time. Okay, so I would suggest that there's a lot of repetition here. So please do not assign everything as homework unless you think they need a lot of practice. But I would think from page 17 onwards, all right, to page 20 would be more than enough practice, right? Or if you like 16 as homework, page 16 to page 20, right? Page 16 to page 20 as homework. Okay, so no need to assign all, right? It'd be too much for them. Okay, let's move on to book number 2. For book number 2, a bit of repetition. So depending on whether you have enough time, I would say skip a lot of questions. I'd like you to work on other questions instead. So these are actually quite straightforward. You can see very time consuming. Right, they're supposed to add the total number, right? Write the number here. You might want to explain to them how to do this, but Let's not waste time doing all this in class. This can be done as homework, right? This one as well. Okay, so I don't think we should spend too much time on it. Okay, now what we can do here is when it comes to this question, remind them again, right? So in some cases, okay, these are a bit difficult to tell, right? But they should have a sense of how many were at 10,000, right? So if the numbers are too small, obviously 2,900 plus 4,500 may not work. Okay, so teach them some kind of a common sense. Okay, all right. So what I'd like you all to focus on would be questions like this. Okay, so do some demonstration. I would say maybe get them to do A, right? And then C in class. Okay, and then get to do questions like this as well. Right, so maybe do A and then B. Okay, after that, these questions are important. All right, for this question, you can model for them or get them to explain. Now, the thing I always say, I don't like ready drawn models. So I would suggest that you draw on the board or on the white screen to show them why they are doing this. All right, TV sets cost this. A dining table set costs 3,565. How do you draw a model? First of all, you need to know which one is small. So dining set is small, therefore you draw a longer rectangle. Right, TV, you draw a smaller one. Right, so just show them how to do this and then label them. Where's the question mark? Solve it. Okay, get them to do question 15 in class. Make sure that they know how to draw the bar model on their own. And the rest, I think you can assign as homework. In fact, perhaps if there's time, and I think there should be, go through one question with them here on page 20, question 8A, where they need to add 3 numbers together. Right? Tell them that it can be done. Right? So for example, 8 plus 8 ones plus 6 ones plus 8 ones give you 22 ones. All right, so you just put 2 ones here and the 20 ones, you cannot write it in this column. You've got to regroup it into 2 tens. Okay, so if you're not sure, get them to do another question, but otherwise I think it should be fine. Okay, so for homework, I would say get them to do from page 15 and all the way to the end. Okay, so no need to do so many of it. All right, and that's it for this week's lesson. Don't forget to assign the test paper as well. Thank you.